Welcome back, everyone. So I hope the new year finds you well, and it's a little bit late, but usually around this time of year people are making their best of lists, their worst of lists for the previous year, and I do one of these videos every year, and I had all the materials together to do it, and I was not going to, but some of you sent me some really nice messages and left some comments wondering where the video is. So without further ado, here are my top 10 arcade atrocities of 2017. Hope you enjoy.
First up, we have this lovely Bartop that was clearly constructed out of a gambling machine. It has an awkward joystick, a tiny screen, and you know you're going to love the feel of those buttons. Thankfully, they included lots of stickers on the side to distract you. And at number 9, this is one I've seen all too often. Perfectly functional candy cab where they've replaced the monitor with a 16:9. They've even cut a chunk out of the bezel, and then they put the whole thing up on a pedestal so that you don't have to deal with the convenience of being able to sit down. This next one I originally saw in a local Craigslist listing here, and I really just couldn't believe that Midway actually made this piece of garbage. The joysticks look cheap and flimsy, but the real issue here is the size of the monitor. Why would you make a cab that big and then have the bezel take up half of that space and then have this tiny little monitor at the bottom? I just don't understand. Number 7 is an example of a classic mistake people make when building cabs. One machine can't do everything. You have to pick and choose. Just imagine how great your neck's going to feel after sitting at that steering wheel for a few minutes. And if that weren't bad enough, look at how far back they place the stick and buttons. So you get to choose whether you want to have the steering wheel or the shifter in your nuts. At least it comes with bass boost.
All your bass are belong to us.
This next one's just kind of silly. Somebody's taken a control panel off of an Astro City and tried to make it into an arcade stick, but they didn't even bother to chop off the coin slot there, so you got it just kind of sticking out. But my favorite feature, though, is the wood handle in the back. This is absolutely ludicrous. At number 5, we have a tie between two lovely Monolith-style arcade machines. Our first one features one button on each side of the joystick and a lovely stretched-out 16:9 vertical monitor. And at only $17.50, it is quite a steal. Our other Monolith is not for sale, and we can be happy about that. In addition to just being generally hideous, take a look at the angle of that control panel. Love it. Number 4 comes to us from Greece, and honestly, I don't even know what to say about this. The plywood looks terrible. The control panel is half finished. They clearly just gave up after finishing the player one side. Monitor's cheap. But there is one effect that I just love, and if you haven't noticed it yet, it's got lights in the back, because why wouldn't it? And at number 3 is a cocktail that wouldn't really be so bad if they hadn't decided that instead of one decent sized monitor, they were going to put 2 tiny, tiny little monitors in it. I mean, really, come on. Number 2 comes from a local Craigslist ad in which the man said that he found this machine and decided it would make such a great MAME cab. He's put a computer in it, he's got it all ready to go, and somehow doesn't realize that you're going to need a joystick for a lot of games. So, big fail on this one. I don't know if I can do this anymore. This seriously may be the stupidest thing I've ever seen. This guy has taken a Super Nintendo controller, sawed it in half, put a tiny little screen in between the two halves, and then he's hooked the whole thing up to a Sega Naomi system, speakers and all. You can't make this shit up. He didn't bother even to make a case to put all of this crap in. There's just bare wires just going all over the place. This one is so bad, you almost feel sorry for whoever did this. This is easily my worst of the worst this year.
So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.